guess it would help if I put us on screen. It's Wednesday night.
What the hell, right? Hey,
Yeah. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the Greg Cherry Show. Greg Cherry alongside Jeff Meacham. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I noticed, first of all, I want to do some admin here. I did notice Brett Storm is in the chat, and he did get a wheel spin, so we're going to get to that in just a minute. But Brett,
yes,
I said I had to bump you from tomorrow's Jack of all trades because I had spots filled.
Oh,
a contestant had to drop out. So, Brett, if you want your spot back, if you can do tomorrow's episode, you're back in. Just let me know.
Nice.
I figured that would be the most fair way to go about it.
Yeah, you know.
But I think I already have somebody for October, so that's pretty cool.
Even better, because I definitely can't commit to anything past Sunday. So
there you go. All right, so Brett's into Jack of all trades. I do not have the graphic ready, clearly.
That's okay.
But yes, you will be replacing Issa, who has a lot going on, quite frankly. So we'll let her. We'll let her take all the time she needs.
Absolutely.
So it will be Brett Storm, Sat Inyangi, True Heel Romeo, and Adam Pearson on tomorrow's episode. So
nice, good stuff.
A lot of fun there. So Brett, as I mentioned, got a spin. I didn't even do the donate thing. Everybody should know it by now. But.
We are just not even like we're so focused on an hour from now. We don't really have we're just kind of here. I mean, this is coming up at the top of the hour, for real.
Yeah,
this is some pay-per-view shit.
It's a lot of championships on the line. That's 5 title matches for Grand Slam. That's insane.
Yeah, and that's all they've announced so far is just the championship matches. You know there's going to be some other shenanigans going on, but the fact that they've got 2 world title singles matches and the other title matches, this is going to be a bonkers night. And then they got and then they're taping. I'm sorry, they're doing Rampage Live Friday with a 2-hour.
Yeah. So you figure Acclaimed has to win the tag team titles, right?
You would think, right?
They gotta. If they don't pull the trigger on the Acclaimed now, when do you?
Yeah. When do this has been so hyped up for them, literally and figuratively. The only way I could possibly see it happening is if. Well, no, because Swerve's already a heel, so it wouldn't be a matter of them doing. Yeah, I don't know what the hell
would have to cheat.
It.
Swerve is either going to cheat. Swerve's either going to cheat to win, or he's going to take the pin. I don't see Keith Lee taking the pin.
Right, exactly.
Unless, of course, Swerve goes to cheat and hits Keith Lee with whatever he's going to hit Bowens or Caster with.
Which will lead us to Full Gear, which is fine with me. Either way, we got to get the definitive Swerve versus Keith Lee thing happening because it's coming.
Oh, it has to.
So,
but Swerve is doing so great as a heel.
Right?
He's so good.
I'm noticing as I talk with this hat on that the ears move. It's making my head making my head what the hell? I'm like, gee, they move. Okay. Anyway, don't mind me. I have a new toy. Leave me alone.
No judgment whatsoever.
No, that's it. I got used to having mouse stuff all over the place because pretty soon I'm going to be surrounded by it on a daily. Like I'm not already, let's be honest. But
yeah. So I'm going to throw... I'm replacing... Okay, I'm going to do something, and this might annoy some people.
Okay.
I'm taking the Jack of all trades spot off the wheel. I mean, for Brett, it doesn't matter because he's already got it.
Right.
And I'm also taking the gauntlet thing. I'm going to say this much. The 10-person gauntlet is going to be the last WTC thing I do.
Oh, wow. Like Jack of all trades and the title, or just...
No, Jack of all trades is staying. I love Jack of all trades, but as far as the original... Okay. As far as the original wrestling trivia challenge,
right?
I think it's time to lay that to rest.
I would think so.
Yeah. Because if I end up winning the gauntlet somehow, what else do I have to do?
Right. Yeah. It's one of those.
At that point, it's just passing San Martino and
Yeah, that's just obscene.
I'm not gonna keep doing it for 2 years just to do that. So.
No, there's kind of no point.
Put in your suggestions as to what you want that spot to be.
Oh God. There's so many. Okay, like where you do a lot. Like I would say, take off the damn fitness things too. But I know you
No,
actually
that one is beneficial as much as
right.
it's painful.
God. I mean, you have the call-on option already on there.
Yeah, hold on.
God, I don't even know. Like, there's like what can we offer that won't, Yeah, like I said, we're not prepared for the show at all. We have no idea what the hell we're doing today, guys.
200 jumping jacks is what replaces it.
Oh God.
Yeah. So that's gonna suck if that happens.
So I would say add that one, and then add a call Greg an ambulance if you do land on that one.
Well, actually, I'm gonna replace one of the 100s with a 200.
Oh, okay.
And then replace this 200 with something
There
else.
is this impersonation other than Macho Man. I mean,
but see, Savage is the only one I'm good at.
It's funny. What were we doing? Dad's.
I mean, I could try my Stone Cold, but the thing is, I'm not great with an Austin impression.
Right. We opened up Dad's on Monday, and we were talking like the Macho Man, and Jay, we're gonna do this the whole show. I'm like, no, because then if we do it on a Greg Cherry show, my voice will be shot. Yeah. So yeah, no voice whatsoever for Wednesday. Can't do that. That's why I said no.
I guess I could do like you guys choose the impression.
Yeah, I mean, it's they choose the karaoke, they choose the entrance anyway. Might as well choose the impersonation. We can wing it.
All right, so there you go. All the trivia stuff is off the wheel. I'm gonna save that because
it's the end of an era.
It is the end of an era, but it is what it is. It was time,
It's the end of an era, and neither one of us had to bleed or sit in a wheelchair with the Undertaker hitting us to do it. So there you go.
Also, hashtag Greg Cherry for Quizlemania 2.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Yeah, because Sat dropped that on Quizlemania today, and he's going to be on Jack of All Trades tomorrow.
Yes.
So that'll obviously come up. So, Brett, here's your spin.
There you go.
Well, there you go. You kind of called the future for that, Jeff.
Yes.
Time for some macho time.
Macho time here on the Greg Cherry Show. Haven't done this in a while. I almost feel like I should get my sorcerer hat instead of my Mickey ears, so I have like a crown type thing, like the Macho King. Kind of go with the theme. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put this right here on the screen. Yeah. Let's see.
So
$20.
Well, it's one of those deals, Greg. You announced the end of the WTC thing. You've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, cream of the crop. You're the man. You've been the man for longer than anybody in active wrestling championships today. Yeah. So you just gotta go with the flow, everybody, and you gotta realize that nobody stops the Greg Cherry Show. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you a little something about a little something. You look down at the screen. There's still tomorrow. There's still next Wednesday. If you want Big G and I to do the Boozle Challenge, that's where we put nasty jelly beans in our mouth and almost puke on air. So if you want to see that, that's where you get to donate the money. We'll come up with a better donation goal for October, I'm sure, but that's what it is for September, and it is what it is. That's what we got to see about that. Yeah. All right.
And the folks in the chat room doing the shtick. We already did this earlier, but it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. And as I said, where are we at here? We're less than an hour from a pay-per-view style show. Yeah. Okay, I'm good now.
All right, that's enough of that. Before
that's enough of that. My throat hurts already. Jesus.
All right. So, I love how my computer runs like so nice through the rest of the time, and then when I do this show, it runs slow as shit.
I was gonna say there's more of a lag than I have noticed in months.
I don't know why that is, but I don't know.
Maybe the increased
anyway,
output streams.
Possibly. Oh, maybe this is that should help.
There we go. Yeah. Aha. It was the wheel that was the culprit.
It was the wheel.
Share screen's a motherfucker.
All right, so now that we're back.
Anyway,
yeah. Let's do this. Let's talk about wrestling and sports.
Okay, well, hell, let's just throw it out there for wrestling.
Raise your hand.
War Games.
Okay, I was gonna. War Games.
That's right.
They should like subcontract him out just to do that.
Right. Like, Tony, tell you what, we're gonna give you a little bit of a helping hand here. We're gonna give you some PR tips. We just need to borrow Regal for a couple days.
Not even a couple days, just a pre-tape of him saying War Games.
Right. Seriously, just have him like freaking CGI him into the shot. War Games, just right back out, like for no particular reason. All right.
But
start that question. We'll come back to it.
Raise your hand if your team has beaten the Cincinnati Bengals this season.
Right. Hey, now, for the record, hometown roots in Cincinnati from my dad's side of the family. So Sunday sucked. I even showed JJ, where's my DX sign? Who booked this shit? Damn it. Cowboys and Cincy. But hey, it's good to see the Cowboys get back on track right away after such a horrible week one. But like we said on Stat Boy Sports Radio yesterday, week one for everybody but the Cowboys was the greatest week in the history of football, except for you guys, aging you all Pittsburgh fans, 95 years.
Hey, we still won.
Yes. Week two was a complete cluster F for everybody except the Cowboys.
This has been I thought last year was the craziest year in football. This year, we're only 2 weeks in. The Ravens blew a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter. The Browns blew a 13-point lead with less than 2 minutes to go, and the Jets having no timeouts.
Yeah.
The Cardinals came back and beat the Raiders in overtime.
Right.
It was insane.
It was completely insane. Just to show you how crazy this season is already, let me just throw up a visual that we used yesterday on the sports bar. I really pull these images out of the library here for non-Mikey show. This is the power rankings for yesterday's show for week two. Jacksonville, Detroit, and the Jets are all on the positive side of things. The top 16, the top half of the league. What the hell sort of multiverse dimension of hell are we in?
The Lions have the second most points scored in the NFL right now.
Yeah, Detroit is like all over everybody. I'm like, there's one ex-roommate of mine that is not going to be approachable for at least a month if this keeps up. No more good Lions. It's a bad good Lions. No.
I still can't believe the Ravens blew a 21-point lead.
Oh, I can't. It's freaking Baltimore. They're so unreliable. It's ridiculous.
Baltimore, I mean, Lamar Jackson did wonders for me on my fantasy team, but I also faced him in my paid league. So it's like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, you got to freaking rob Paul to pay Peter on that. Like, damn it.
My paid league is such a shit show. Like, I am not kidding you.
You're having a tough time there. I saw. I guess Virtues in Fantasy Baseball. His is tanking now. That nobody in baseball has to give a shit about the record because everybody on the top teams are sits are like, yeah, we'll just coast. So everybody's Fantasy Baseball all of a sudden.
Unless you're Aaron Judge,
right? Hey, I heard a blip of a rumor of an innuendo that he might be wearing a halo next year. And I'm like, you know what? If Artie or whoever ends up owning the team is going to pony up for that, I'm here for
it. If Cashman doesn't work something out for Judge, I am completely confused. Because that dude is having the season of a lifetime.
Yep.
He is to baseball what TJ Watt is to the Steelers. Like he's to the Yankees what like Aaron Judge is to the Yankees what TJ Watt is to the Steelers. If he's not in the lineup, you freaking notice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can tell the difference between a team that has Aaron Judge on it and a team that doesn't. You can tell the Steelers defense when TJ Watt's there and when he's not.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the rest of this baseball season plays out. I was hopeful that Pujols would get there. I don't think he's gonna get to the magic number here, but there's still time, but there's not a whole lot of time left as far as games go. So
no, there's only a few games left.
I mean, there are always possibilities. He can always, go on a friggin' tear here the last, few days of the season. So we'll see.
Let me just confirm how many games are left.
Yeah, I'm curious myself now that I said that.
So Aaron Judge needs 2 home runs to have the all-time American League home run record.
In a season. Wow. Considering how much those home runs racked up, starting with the Sosa Maguire era, that's something.
And just to put this in perspective, the Yankees' current record is 89-58. They're playing the Pirates right now.
There you go. There's a layup.
Hey, they almost lost last night if it wasn't for Giancarlo Stanton's Grand Slam.
Oh, I know.
89-58. So there's 162 games in the season. So there are 15 games left for Aaron Judge to get 2 home runs.
Wow. That's not – yeah,
that's the way he's been hitting them
right.
is incredibly doable.
Yeah.
He might do it tonight.
Right. I mean, and then the Cardinals are actually making a west swing. They're actually playing San Diego tonight and tomorrow. They actually lost San Diego yesterday. They got shut out. Padres bastards. Although I don't like the Cardinals at all. I just want Pujols to do well. And then they're coming here for the weekend.
Oh, there you go.
So to play the Dodgers. So I don't want them to beat the Dodgers, obviously. But Dodgers are locked in NL West. They've got the bye. It doesn't really matter record-wise. I just don't like the freaking Cardinals. Yeah. So, where's Pujols at number-wise?
I
got it.
Was he at 700, or is he not there yet?
No, he's almost there.
It's got to be like 697 or something like that.
Yeah, he's close enough where it shouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. 698 now.
Oh, I was one off.
So, theoretically, if the Padres pull off another one and they whoop their ass, he could break the record. He could hit 700 here at Dodger Stadium, where he used to play. That'd be awesome. I mean, granted, he played Angel Stadium a good chunk of his career, but he also was a Dodger briefly, so that'd be kind of cool. Again, my fandoms are competing with my desire for my brother, who I think is going to one of the games this weekend, to see that in person.
I mean, that'd be cool. I got to see something when I went to the Yankees-Pirates game a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That has only happened like 80-some times in the history of Major League Baseball. A multi-Grand Slam game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's a major thing to happen in one game. That's crazy.
And the fact that I was there for one of them, it's like, hey, that's cool. Like
that's
only like
cool.
80, I think it was like 87 times. It might have been less than that. I don't remember the exact count.
We actually talked about it on the show that week. Yeah.
And you figure Major League Baseball has been around since what, the late 1800s? Like in the 1890s?
Like 1890s or
early
so?
1900s. So 120 plus years of Major League Baseball. And that thing has only happened 87 times. You figure there are 162 games played by 30 different teams every year. So you figure 15 times 162, because you need 2 teams for a game. I mean, there you go.
The astronomically low ratio of that is it's ridiculous, and you were there for one of those. That's amazing.
So that's a pretty cool thing.
We do get the opportunity, even in our young lives, to actually see some merch stuff. I was at one point before he went on a complete freaking tear in his comeback tour with the Bulls. The second 3-peat years, I was at Jordan's third or fourth highest scoring game ever, because he came and lit the damn Lakers up like a Christmas tree. So that was ugly in the form, no less. But it is what it is.
So Notre Dame finally won a game this week.
Took them a second to get their shit together, but they did it.
And Tommy Rees, I don't know if you saw the viral clip of Tommy Rees yelling at Drew Pine through the phone.
Oh yeah.
Hey, people were complaining about it. It's like, oh, you shouldn't do that in sports. First of all, if you're complaining about it, you've never played a sport or watched a sport or anything like that.
Yeah. Cut the shit.
Coaches are supposed to motivate you.
Right.
And guess what? That motivated him, because Drew Pine won the game.
Yep.
Can't complain about the result.
Nope. It is what it is.
And they play, I believe, North Carolina this week. So
that sounds right.
The offense is still a point of concern for me.
Oh yeah.
Which makes me scared to play Clemson on my birthday. But you know what? 2 years ago, they had a completely terrible game. They won 12-7 or something against a team that they had no business being close to. And then they go and beat Clemson in the greatest college football game I've ever watched in my life.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what team's going to show up. Of course,
this
team doesn't have Kyron Williams, but
it's definitely a strange football year. You figure Notre Dame's, college ball is kind of a mixed bag. The NFL's a what the fuck bag right now. The first 2 weeks, my Cowboys. I went to the homecoming game 2 weeks ago. The score at the end of the first quarter was it was either 3-2 or 9-2. At one point, the score was 3-2. We got a field goal. They got a safety.
That was way different than the homecoming game I went to on Friday.
Oh, okay.
The final of that was 64-0.
Well, that was our game last week when I wasn't there. That we lost 45-0, 35 points in the first quarter.
Oil City won.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
We did.
So they were on top there. But I was totally rooting for them to score 69 points.
Nice.
Yes.
That would have been they ended up with what? 60 what?
64. So it looked less likely to happen.
Right.
But then Oil City's defense drove Franklin back to within the end zone. It's get a safety and a field goal, and it's possible. Do it. They didn't. So
that is terrible. You're at a high school game, and that's what you're thinking about. Shame on you.
Hey, listen, if they're that high in points, root for it. Okay. I don't see many football games where you only see it in high school and college. I don't think you ever see NFL teams score 60 points at a game.
No,
it's very rare that NFL teams do that.
Yes.
But
I'll never forget. I don't remember the exact score of the game. I just remember the aftermath. My freshman year, the varsity played one of our crosstown rivals, Valencia High School. They were still a newer thing back then. One guy alone ran up 305 yards on offense against us. And we paid for that during spring and early summer ball every day, because the bell rang right around 2:55 or so to go down to football for afternoon practice. Every day at 3:05 p.m., the entirety of the program had to go into a deep squat and hold it for 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Ass near ground deep squat.
See, I thought you were going to say that you guys had to sprint from end zone to end zone 3 times and then stop on the 5 yard line, like run 305 yards as fast as you could.
No, because here in California, they realized even in spring and early summer ball, if we'd done that enough days in a row, they would have had to buy pine boxes and funeral arrangements because it's hotter than shit here. So, but yeah, the squats at 3:05 in the afternoon were always challenging, especially for us big lineman boys. It was like, I can't hold this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the varsity learned their lesson, to say the very least, as did all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My knees now think that hurts. So
right. Yeah. I think back to my 14-year-old self going, or 15-year-old self at that point going, damn, nope, it's not happening yet. But we'll see, because I had to do a lot of squatting and carrying for my physical training for what I'm about to do starting Friday. So we'll see if the old squat regime comes back into play here.
I see the comments in the section. I am not going to talk about what happened Friday. Because nobody's business. But yeah, that was you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, was that only Friday? God, I thought that was a lot. Wow.
It feels like
it seems like so much
frankly,
closer than okay.
I was too busy like showing my house Saturday.
Yeah, it's like you were busy having an adult life, God forbid. But there are a couple of questions. We'll go ahead and throw that one up since I started. Our favorite era of WWE is a question from the Cool Brothers Radio podcast.
Ruthless aggression. I'm kind of biased towards that. Like I like New Generation era is okay. Like late 80s, early 90s is really good. I'm not a massive fan of the Attitude Era. I'm going to say that. Like the Attitude Era is one of those things where in the moment it was awesome.
Yeah.
Looking back, it wasn't that good.
If you go back and watch the overall quality of the stuff, and I'm talking in ring and promos and the presentation improved drastically as far as graphics, as far as quality of video, all that stuff. But it improved even more in the Ruthless Aggression era. Number one. Number two. Yes, we were all young and silly in the Nitro / Monday Night War / Attitude Era, but man, that shit did not age well for the majority of it.
Fine milk,
right? And you figure a lot of the reactions back then were not for the moments themselves. It was a reaction to the people. I mean, God, that glass brace, roofs blow off the place. That's really what it was. It wasn't so much the fact that it was Austin versus whoever and one of the most memorable whatevers. It was just the fact that Stone Cold Steve Austin was coming out. Same with the NWO. It was more of, oh, here comes the music. What the hell's going to happen now? Whereas Ruthless Aggression era had all that, and they had quality work inside the ring as well. That's where I see you coming from on that. So.
Yeah. So much good came out of the Ruthless Aggression. A lot of people don't like it, surprisingly.
Which I don't understand personally. I also
I understand Ruthless Aggression had some down periods, Katie Vick, but it shouldn't take away.
No.
And like the women's wrestling in that era was probably like a sniff of what we get now.
Yeah,
like Trish Lita and Beth Phoenix and Melina and Mickie James and
Molly
and
was
Victoria,
starting to come in her own there.
Molly Holly, Gail Kim. That was a sniff. It was like, hey, we're going to get women that can actually work in the ring.
Yep.
And thankfully, Maria's still around because she's got a great wrestling mind. Let's be honest, especially for women's wrestling.
It is such a shame, and I always think back to this. The onset of Trish's era as the dominant women's champion really came about because of Joni's departure. And I think, man, what if they'd actually came to an agreement with her for her to stay, and she would have been able to be involved still, and hopefully had her head screwed back on straight, because Lord knows she devolved in a hurry after that.
Yeah.
God love her. I would have liked to have seen what China as champion, or even China losing to Lita or Trish or whoever, what they could have done with her. And again, that's been a topic I've thought about a lot. I talked with a lot of people that knew Joni about this over the years. Where was that character going to go? Because you figure she had kicked all the ass she kicked. She was the first woman everything pretty much, except actually be the WWE champion, which we talked about on yesterday's show. I don't think that's ever going to be a thing. Like, people are talking about, there should be a woman as the WWE champion, and that there should be women holding the men's singles titles. My problem with that was and is, if they're going to challenge for that, if they're going to be involved in the male storylines completely, then all of these first women everythings are completely negated as relevant. Women's Royal Rumble, no longer necessary. They're competing with the men. Women's Money in the Bank, no longer necessary. Women's Elimination Chamber, not necessary. Like,
I get that, but you have to figure, realistically, and this is not a knock to the women's division, because the women's division has incredibly talented athletes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As far as presenting it as a storyline, what women do you have on the roster that would be a genuine threat to the male roster? I can think of one. Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, they were the conversation yesterday was going toward Rhea, toward Charlotte, toward Becky, and I'm like,
I would no Charlotte. I would be even further pissed if Charlotte was that person. It's like, Charlotte is already given everything. Why give her that too?
Yeah, it's. I just don't think it's necessary. I know I'm going to come off as a sexist or whatever the situation, whatever you want to call me here. I just don't think that even now in 2022, our society as a whole is ready for that intergender stuff on the big platform.
See, they tried it in Impact, and if Tessa Blanchard wasn't, a racist, it probably would have worked.
I think it would have worked for Tessa.
Yeah.
I don't know if the entirety of the knockouts would have been up to par. Jordynne Grace, again, another tremendous personality, but she sticks her foot in her damn mouth. So
true, but Jordynne Grace did win the Digital Media Championship, and that was an intergender match for all accounts and purposes. Is there a woman in AEW that could probably compete with the men? Yeah. Jade Cargill.
Yeah. There's an article today that she wants to be a female Rock. It's like, I ain't messing with her.
But let me tell you this. I'd give her some wins over men, too. Have her compete for the TNT title.
Why not? Both of those divisions are completely, or not the divisions, both those championships and their competitors are just at a wall right now. They're not doing shit.
No. I don't know if you would have her face Wardlow. But...
Well, no, because Wardlow would break that. Even as badass as she is, Wardlow would break her in two. It'd be ugly. Because Wardlow is just such a freaking specimen. He's very, very akin to Goldberg. Sorry, Wardlow. I don't know if you like Goldberg. I'm not a fan, as you probably know.
I'm pretty sure he enjoys the Batista comparisons, because there's a lot
Batista,
of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the finisher's similar.
It's funny to
me.
The
storyline with MGF was similar.
Yeah. It's funny how much he looks like Batista as far as style, and he actually reminds me facially of the guy they were calling Batista Jr. What was that dude's name that was part of the Nexus?
Ryan.
Mason Ryan, thank you. God, I couldn't remember that guy's name to save my life. For a very good reason. But blinking, you missed his ass.
Yeah.
But I'd be okay on certain things. I just don't think I still don't think, and this is me right now in 2022 in September, I don't think we're ever going to see a woman hold the WWE Heavyweight Championship. I just don't see it being a thing.
China was the closest. She was number one contender very briefly.
She was. That's part of her stat things they rattle off. She was the only woman to become the number one contender. So,
But she was not the only woman to compete for the WWE Championship.
No, this is true. Stephanie did it too.
Stephanie did it in a triple threat and nearly won the championship.
That's it. So I know you follow certain stuff on Twitter, social media, wrestling, and Lord knows you shouldn't follow all of it because it's a rabbit hole of hell. But there was discussion, I forget what day, it was earlier this week though, that there are 2 people that have competed in every major American-based company since the Attitude Era really was a thing. And I was going to ask you the question, that he's one of them. Do you remember the other one?
The other one?
I had to dig to make sure. And even then, Daniels has been in New Japan also, which I had thought the other person was.
I saw the comments, and I can't remember who it was.
Oh, okay. Well, if you saw it, then it's all good. It was Crowbar. Devin Stone.
Crowbar was actually who I was thinking of.
Yeah, because people forget he was in ECW there for a cup of coffee there, because they were bringing everybody in that damn company at that point.
And he was in the inaugural light heavyweight championship tournament too.
Yeah, he was. So he's been through every company, and I thought, and no, AJ has actually not been in AEW, whereas Devin and Chris both are or have. Chris is technically there. He's just not tying out right now.
I think he's unsuspended now.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I haven't talked to anybody there since Chicago. I don't even want to reach out to anybody right now. It's such a cluster.
I don't blame you
right now. Oh boy.
Zach, okay. What's up, Zach? How you doing? Best college game you've ever seen, both of you. His is USC versus Texas. I'm guessing that's the national championship game. Clemson versus Notre Dame. Go Irish, baby. And Texas Tech versus Texas. The only one I'm not familiar with is Texas Tech versus Texas. Clemson versus Notre Dame was such a freaking thrill ride for me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That I was so happy with the result of that game.
Right.
Because, I mean, it was a great story to be told. Clemson kind of fudged it at the end because of their clock management.
Right.
But Notre Dame coming back and tying it, going to overtime, going to the second overtime. And that defense, the way they played on that final drive was just chef's kiss. Just a thing of beauty. Forcing like a fourth and like a mile for the final play. And it's like the only way you screw this up is a defensive penalty, or you just like open wide and let them through. Like that's the only way.
Yeah, for me, I haven't watched enough college ball to really have a favorite. And the only one I remember distinctly is I went to it live. It wasn't even a real game. It was a scrimmage. My freshman year of football again at high school, we went and watched UCLA scrimmage with the Volunteers from Tennessee. And I always remember that. Nothing to do with the game, which is so sad. But the Tennessee cheerleading squad was comprised of men and women. And they had these ungodly wool, like not even track suits looking things. And the guys were in long sleeve orange wool and pants to match. I was like, it is 120 something degrees. You guys are, God bless you guys. I felt so bad for those college boys. It's like, damn. But yeah, I unfortunately haven't been to a whole lot of live game. Matter of fact, the game I saw at the Coliseum when the Cowboys played the Rams, when the Rams came back to LA before they had SoFi built, was the first NFL game I'd ever seen live, period, which was astounding to me.
This is something, I don't mean to interrupt. This is something I have to look up. I want to know what the Major League Baseball single season record is for most Grand Slams hit against one team.
Right.
Because this is at least the fourth.
In a season or in a game or
in a season, not in a game, because I know 3 happen in a game, but
Grand
the
Slam
Yankees have hit 4
by
Grand Slams against the Pirates this year. I was there for the game with 2. They hit one last night, and they just hit one again.
Most Grand Slams in one game by nonsense. No.
While you're looking that up,
yes.
Yes, Josh, I am ready for the Steelers and the Browns.
I'm not.
Well, I'm hoping I'm ready. If the Cleveland defense that showed up in the last 2 minutes of the game against the Jets show up tomorrow, I will be perfectly happy. I don't know whether that'll help the Steelers or not because Matt Canada is the worst offensive coordinator in the history of coordinators. Um, I have to address this because it is a super chat.
Okay.
I want you to look on the screen.
I'm looking. Okay. All right. Go ahead and address it because I got my own 2 cents about it, but I figure you should. It's about you anyway, so.
It is. He probably won't, honestly. And it's not because of what happened Friday with him and Sean on Twitter. It's just because I don't think the interest is there.
Yeah.
He's come on. He's done WTC before.
Yeah.
And he also has a life outside of doing no DQ stuff. So
as do we all, except for the guy that runs no DQ. Sorry, it's hate to burst y'all's bubble, but
yeah. So like,
and even he does too. Aaron has a life outside of his professional life. Is that yes, but
so it's not a knock to Virtue.
No,
trust me, it's not, because having hung out with him outside of the internet and actually spent time with him in person at Big G's wedding, at the get together in Cleveland, he's a great guy to talk to outside of his Twitter gimmick.
Right.
What he does on his Twitter is his own thing, and he wants to do that. I don't have a part of it. I don't care what he does with it because I don't run it. He can say what he wants. Yeah. I'm not going to come on here and bury anybody who wants to do with it. He can do what he wants. Sean can do what he wants. Riff can do what he wants. I don't control any of it. Riff tried to put me in the middle of it by doing a debate between them. And I was like, I want no part of that.
Right.
And then I saw the catastrophe that happened on Friday.
Yeah. My whole thing was...
I wasn't planning on talking about it, but there you go.
No, but the guy paid, so we'll do it quickly-ish. See, yeah, remember, I was at Disney all day Friday. Early, I was out doing my Disney training in the morning, and then I was en route in traffic. I didn't get the shitstorm until I was already settled in at my sister's house and just opened up Twitter and went, oh my God. I will say this. I was reached out to by one of the parties involved that got swirled into the shitstorm looking for perspective. Or I reached out trying to achieve perspective for other people and was met with bad resistance. And my understanding of the situation is there's a lot of issues that I was not aware of on either side of the conversation. And I had to just go, you know what? I'm not going to be able to have people meet in the middle here. And sometimes that just has to be a thing in life. Sometimes people just don't understand the other side of a argument that should have never happened in the first place.
Yeah.
And if somebody is going to have the stance of, I don't understand, I'm not going to understand, and I'm not going to allow you to help me to understand, then I have to just hands off. Because I like both guys. I've never hung out with either guy outside of, Twitter or this screen or whatever. Of everybody in the wrestling circles, if you will, I've hung out with Aaron and Caitlin. They're two of my dearest friends off camera. Aaron more than once. 20 years of friendship. I had the opportunity to go back and stay with you and your wife for that week, and it was wonderful. And then the people that actually lived here or came out here to visit. So I enjoy everybody that was involved in that swirl storm. I enjoy their commentary. I enjoy their content on YouTube, on their websites, whatever. But when they get in that little 280 character window, it just becomes a cesspool. And that's why I try very hard at just because it doesn't lead to anything good, and that's sad.
Chris, you're better off.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, Zach, if they weren't going to have something to promote for Full Gear, I would say this is a thing. But yes, we're still a good month and a half, actually 2 months almost off from this. But you know what? I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying that I'd be surprised if they do it, but I'd also be happy if they did it. Let's see here. Where are we? So, since we're in Q&A anyway, I'll go ahead and throw Brett's starred question up there.
Yep.
In what WWE video game, which is going to be more for you than for me, featured a POD song called Addicted? No prizes for guessing what sort of songs I've been listening to recently.
I feel like this was in the SmackDown versus Raw series. I'm just trying to place
right. Yeah.
Because POD was like a big deal in the mid-2000s during Ruthless Aggression.
Yes.
A very mysterious song, for crying out loud. Still do, technically.
Yes.
I feel like it was 2007.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. You know what? I'm going to agree with that. And I only say that because that's the only one I played that I was really good at. And I was really good at that one because when they changed, they made it so, at least on PlayStation, you couldn't reconfigure the control options to the old 2007 way when they used 2008. So I stopped buying them. I had not bought a game since then until whatever game AJ Styles was on the cover of.
2K19.
That's the one I bought for Dylan. That was a lot. So that period of time, I did not buy a WWE video game.
I haven't bought one since 2K19 either.
Well, 20 was such a shit show.
Yeah, 20 was an absolute disaster. I had no desire to play Battlegrounds. And 2K22, I heard, is just as buggy as 2K20. So I was like,
is it? That sucks. Because I heard it was because I wanted because of the NWO
2000
variant.
SVR 2009, really.
Wow, that far in, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize it was that late. See, the SmackDown versus Raw soundtracks, they all kind of blend together for me. Like, I know some songs off of them. I have some of them, like, on my playlist in the car. Like, I have a USB drive that I put songs on there. I have SmackDown versus Raw songs on there. I just don't know what years because I don't have it written down.
Josh, we see your comment. That'll be fun to watch unfold. I'm not even kidding. I'm surprised he hasn't blocked me, to be honest with you. All the shit that I've retconned in my trying to be nice to his ass.
Zach's asking, what's my take on Logan versus Roman? And do I think it's good business for Logan to win? Logan Paul is not going to win the Universal Championship. It's not going to happen. The match itself, I think, will be good. I think it'll draw significant interest, especially outside of like the normal WWE fans.
Yep.
I honestly don't know if I'll be able to watch it because I'll be getting ready for a vacation on that day because Crown Jewel's on my birthday. So it's one of those things that Roman Reigns is going to retain. He'll probably have the Usos help or Solo Sikoa or Heyman or something like that.
Probably Solo.
Logan might bring Jake Paul in, but I don't know how good that's going to go over with the fans. Of course, Saudi Arabia won't care. That might be the perfect place to have that match because they'll have like babyface and heel pops. I don't think they'll have the like fan reactions that they would have over here. Over here, the Pauls aren't exactly cared for. I don't know how it's going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I don't. If anybody interferes for Roman, it'll be either because Sammy won't go over there. He refuses to go over to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, and it won't be the Usos.
That's why I didn't list them.
And the Usos can't cross borders yet. So too much. So they gotta. That's why they weren't at Cardiff either. That's why Solo was there.
I know Triple H has to do this because he has to like fulfill the contract until like 2028.
Yeah.
Which, like, there's nothing you can really do because they are feeding the company a lot of money. But I'm sure once 2028 is over, unless Saudi Arabia just throws even more cash at them, that they're not going to get the shows.
Yeah, I don't know Hunter well enough to have a moral discussion, but those paid shows are a blessing and a burden, because that's just straight capital, like just. But there's a reason Noah refuses to do the commentary if we ever do cover him, which we're not, by the way. I have it on my calendar, but not as a coverage. I'm just gonna. It's there. There it is. Yes, we are aware we're 9 minutes away. I have TBS queued up on my TV. I'm gonna make sure we're done today.
We might cut the show short in like 3 or 4 minutes so we can just get set for Grand Slam.
Yep.
And I have to plug Jack of all trades for tomorrow, because we haven't talked about it at all, and it's tomorrow. So, I mean, I briefly mentioned it because I talked to Brett at the beginning of the show, but Brett Storm, Adam Pearson, True Heel Romeo is going to be on the show. It's going to be his debut. He does True Heel Heat with SP3, who's in the trivia tournament. And, of course, Sat Inyongi, who is on Quizlemania today. So we love us some Sat here.
We do.
On the Greg Cherry brand. He is just such a wonderful presence to have wherever he's at. And he plugged me back for Quizlemania again, which I appreciate.
That's awesome.
He didn't have to do that, but I appreciate the love that he has.
There you go.
So yeah, if you want to hashtag Greg Cherry for Quizlemania 2, like the Roman numerals 2, go for it. We're gonna try and run it back. Whether or not it happens remains
right.
And I got bone to pick with Tempest because he stole my round.
Son of a bitch. Which one?
He stole the integral round from Jack of all trades.
Oh no!
He just renamed it.
Oh, that sucks. No bueno.
He didn't stop the damn match and change the name of it. You bastard! You Canadian English bastard!
That's right. You freaking limey Canuck, you.
Damn the hell, Tempest.
That's right. Well, since we are going to cut early, I'll go ahead.
I'm not actually mad. I'm glad the round got
of course not.
But
hey, it's a great bit. So
it is.
I love it. That's what rounds I actually do like. Because the freaking the finger thing just throws me off. I get all wigged out on that shit.
Well, so, I will tell you this: it will not be on tomorrow's, because I know Brett Storm would sweep that round.
Accurate. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be on the review tomorrow, but if I'm not, and since I'm off Jack of all trades, this is gonna be the last official live camera appearance for me before this becomes official. Because Thursday night, Friday morning at midnight. It's official. I'm actually on a cast member.
There you go.
So you might get the last on screen with me. So there you go. If the review doesn't happen for me tomorrow, I don't even know if I'm going to be on it, because I did ask to be on, but we'll see. But since it is the last one for me, I will go ahead and throw Cassidy Team Studios up a plug real quick. JJ's having content go up every day of the week now. I'm so happy he's got his channel back moving and doing the thing. And for Renegade's reviews this week, I don't think there are any 3 better school-themed 80s movies than those. Fast Times at Ridgemont High was Monday. Breakfast Club was actually just before we went on the air today, and Ferris Bueller on Friday. And then Saturday, his new release is Clerks 3. If you're a fan of the Kevin Smith movies, especially the Clerks saga, find a way to watch this movie. I know it only had like a 1-week thing. Find it. And have a entire case of facial tissues for yourself, because it is a mucker footer. So, fair warning. But yeah.
People were asking if you're leaving No DQ.
No. Okay, so again, I'm kind of. People seem to think I'm leaving No DQ because I had a little pissy fit with Aaron a couple weeks ago during the Dynamite recap. I'm not leaving anything, right? I'm just not setting myself up for having to commit to something I can't commit to, because I get my Disney schedule Friday during our first round of training. So I don't know my anything past this coming Sunday. I know for sure I'm at Disney on Sunday. I know Saturday is a day off, but I'm probably going to be in Pasadena for a movie screening. Past Sunday, I have no idea what the future holds until this guy tells me. So I'm not saying I'm leaving or stopping Talk Wrestling or stopping Dads or stopping whatever. It's just I don't know what's going to come Friday. So I'd love to be on No DQ. I love being on the review when I can. It's just a matter of actually ability to be in this chair or on my phone at random location around the world to make sure I can do the review for an hour, hour and a half, whatever it is, or this show for an hour on Wednesdays, or whatever the case may be. I don't know what the mouse is going to throw at me, so I'd rather just not set people up to expect me to be there and then have to flake again like I've been doing and simply say, I will see you when I see you.
Yeah. So we might have Jeff on next week. We might not. We will see. Hopefully you have Wednesdays off because, yeah.
Yes. But definitely check out Jack of all trades because that's always one of my favorite parts of a Thursday when it happens to be on. I love that. I just sit down and I roar with laughter. I get confident. I get more confident when I'm not playing because I like damn it, I can answer these questions, and then I get on the show and I'm like, I freeze. So the hot seat is a bitch, kids. I'll tell you what, game show contestants and hosts do not lie. The hot seat on any game show is a mucker footer. So.
Well, we are going to cut the show there because AEW Grand Slam is going live in a couple minutes. So we will see Allians next week. There's the card. It's going to be a good one. I don't know why they're doing another Fatal 4-Way, but that's just me.
To throw us off the scent.
I guess.
You never know what's going to happen.
Thank you all for joining us for the Greg Cherry Show. We will see you next week on the show, and we will see you all tomorrow for Jack of all trades. Sat Neongi defends against Brett Storm, Trujillo Romeo, and Adam Pearson. Check that out tomorrow, and that's going to be it for us. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy Grand Slam, and we will see you next week right here on the Greg Cherry Show. Have a good one.